You are listening to Awaken Atlanta on the UI Media Network, a conscious way to start your day. Get ready to welcome the awesome duo, the uncensored and bubbly Shannon McVeigh, and the conscious voice of the South, Tim Ray, as they add a conscious twist to any and everything around you. So fasten your seatbelts, get ready for a ride around the Big Peach while we awaken Atlanta.
Welcome to Awaken Atlanta. Finally, 15 minutes late, only because Shannon just showed up to work.
That is a lie. Don't.
Shannon, why are you lying to everybody?
You better not spread rumors. That makes me so mad. The truth is, he needed me to do his makeup.
Yeah.
He is such a liar. What's it like to live consciously but really be a fraud? Tell me that. Tell me that.
Well, Shannon, I could only look in the mirror and see, what you see. But listen, guys, we're sorry. We had some technical difficulties. We started, I don't know what happened. Something on our live stream, but we got it taken care of. You know,
that's okay.
That's why we have executive producers.
That's why Sweet Emotions, what our show's about today, guys. I was feeling every emotion just now. I felt anger.
Yeah, she went from every emotion.
I yelled at Tim.
And she expresses it too.
Oh, yeah, because Tim pisses me off. If you guys don't know that, we kind of fight like brother and sister.
Yes, and but she's more physical. Thank you. She's more physical than I am.
Yes, so, I am. I'll put you in your place.
Well, she is. You're a little bit dangerous. I'm a little worried about you sometimes.
I'm a little bit dangerous.
Yes, I'm a little bit rock and roll.
So my mom was, yeah.
So what do you know about emotions, Shannon? And before you even say anything about your emotional self, we're going to get into the different genders of emotions too, and the expression of emotions as well.
The different genders? We have genders for emotions?
Well,
like male emotions?
There's certain predominant genders that express different predominant emotions. You don't think there's a common theme there?
Why don't you explain that to me?
We will. I was about to say, before we get into that, and hear all about your range of emotional, world that you live in. Let's first talk a little bit about the party coming up on July 20th.
You guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of angry right now to talk about the party. I don't want to talk about the party.
Why? Because she's so emotional.
Because they've had meetings at the party that I'm a half of Awaken Atlanta, and I wasn't invited to one. So I feel like someone's trying to set me up to fail.
Or
do you like that?
Or yeah, I don't mind that. Or that maybe they thought you'd be too emotional to handle what they have to say.
Oh, yeah, because they don't know entertainment and I do. How about that? My emotions are very angry this morning. I really am angry this morning. I was fine.
Well, we're going to talk about the anger issues you have. But our Awaken Star today. You know who our Awaken Star is today?
No, please tell me.
Eileen Dillon. She is an incredible soul. You're going to love her to death. She travels around the country in an RV, sharing, helping people process emotions. So
I need her today, right now, so I'm so grateful she's coming on.
I told her to come by. And
we'll do her show live from the RV.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, come on by and see what's going on. Yeah, I don't want to do a party. You did a party for me. I don't want to do that. No.
Okay, you're talking. So
Sorry.
What we have on our show today, guys, we're going to teach you about the 10 basic emotions. Because we all have emotions.
Yes, we
Depends
do.
on how you handle them. Sometimes I handle my emotions very wrong. And sometimes.
Yes.
I mean, if you're going to be honest with yourself, I'm sure all of us react terribly at times.
Well,
Or
yes.
Is that just me?
Well, no, everyone. I mean, we're not giving directions to our emotions. We're born with thoughts and feelings, and we get no education whatsoever.
You know what? I don't cry, you guys. I don't freaking cry.
Shannon,
I'm a woman.
I've seen you cry.
But I hardly cry.
In fact, we've seen you cry and fall apart at one of the meetings.
That was one time. That was one time.
Talk about emotional breakdown.
That was probably the last time I cried. How long ago was that?
That was a while ago.
Like almost a year ago.
Right.
Last summer.
Yeah, it was. So I need a good cry. If anybody wants to be my friend and just let me cry with them, because I'm angry right now. That's another emotion.
All right. So where do you get these emotions from? In fact, guys, listen, we put a little video.
Because you pissed me off so bad, Tim Ray.
Just because you showed up 15 minutes late, Shannon, don't be so upset, everybody.
I did not show up late. He is such a liar.
I am lying about that.
Billy said that it's because I kept up Shannon up late. And Billy, I did stay awake for your show. I'm so proud of you. We love you. You were listening to the show last night, Billy's show.
It was a great show.
But we didn't go to bed till, well, I didn't go to bed till like after midnight. What about you?
I was probably about 1 o'clock.
Yeah, see, we can't do this.
Really?
Someone needs to take care of me because I'm not taking care of myself.
Well, start taking care of yourself.
Okay.
So we're going to play a little video for you guys. And this is just a little range of emotions. And see which one you're identifying with right now. And then perhaps, or maybe even, and then also predominantly for the last week. And then think predominantly for the last month. And then predominantly for the last year.
Spell predominantly.
which is your over predominant feeling that you experience out of these 6 top emotional feelings. All right? Hit it, Otis.
Today we'll show you 6 different emotions and how they affect your body. Number 6, love and joy. If you're extremely happy or even in love, then the heartbeat rises and your hands start to sweat easily. The body releases adrenaline and the love hormone oxytocin. The latter even has an analgesic effect on our bodies and makes us healthier. Number 5, depression. Depression is a disorder of the brain that can lead to emotional distress. Depression weakens the immune system and causes insomnia. In addition, they take the ability to have calm or relaxed thoughts. Depression can also lead to a heart attack as a result of this stress. Number 4, disgust and dislike. Disgust or dislike are some of the most difficult emotions that you cannot suppress. The body reacts extremely by, for example, making a face or even taking a step backwards. The heartbeat slows down in most cases and you feel nausea. Here, just take a deep breath and reevaluate the situation. Number 3, anger and fear. These feelings can cause headaches, insomnia, digestive problems, and even a heart attack or in the worst case, a stroke. Number 2, pride and contempt. The common feature is that you often feel better than other people. In fact, it can cause stress and heartburn, abdominal pain, and high blood pressure. And last but not least, number 1, jealousy. Please note that we're talking about extreme jealousy here. Jealousy causes stress, as well as speed up the heart rate and increase blood pressure. In addition, there's a loss of appetite, insomnia, and stomach problems.
How crazy is that?
All right.
That's what we are as human beings.
So what do you
With all those different emotions. Did you listen to it?
I did. As I'm sharing this, tell me which emotion do you think you're predominantly in right now?
I don't know why I
Anger?
feel aggravated. I'm having an
Okay.
aggravated emotion.
All right.
Because of what you said to me before the show started.
Okay.
So you really put me in this mood.
Okay. Is it I put you in this mood, or did your interpretation of what I said to you put this into the mood?
You being wrong, so wrong, put
Okay.
me in this mood.
Okay. But
And it's like almost like you're almost, you teach me a lot, right?
right.
You need to let me teach you as well.
You want to like let you help me help you?
Yes.
All right. All right.
Like you're not just because you're smarter. I shouldn't even say that, but you're
Shouldn't
more.
say that.
You're more aware
All right.
of your consciousness.
Okay. But
Doesn't mean that you are smarter than me. How about that?
I never claimed to be. In fact, in many ways, you're much smarter than me. But I will say this, in social media and this other professionals' advice, I think we should at least listen to
It's
the
not
person.
a professional. They don't know what they're talking
All
about.
right. This is an inside argument that Shannon and I are having, but right now, what's most important is there's the feeling of frustration,
Yes.
the feeling of anger.
Yes.
Do you know what that leads to, what that video said? Heart attacks.
Well, that's why you had one, sucker.
Oh my gosh, she's so mean.
Okay.
Tell us some more.
Billy said this is getting good. Stacy said I'll be there tomorrow. Guys, Stacy's flying into town. I cannot wait to hug you, Stacy. I think Misty gets into town tomorrow too.
Yes.
Patrick, are you getting in tomorrow? Guys, we're all everybody. So the launch party's Saturday.
Guys, I have group David and Shockley coming in from Costa Rica. We have Nando from Canada and Italy. We got so many folks rolling in all over the world for this party tomorrow. I mean, it's off the
the party's
hook.
not tomorrow.
I mean Saturday.
Yeah.
My bad.
But we're going to also do, if you guys are here in town on Thursday, join us for Alive in Roswell because we are going to be there.
Yes. Actually, yeah, we will. So join us down
And
there.
we're going to look at our venue and we're going to have so much fun. So now, enough about that. Can we get into our
Yes, we
basic
can.
emotions?
Yes, we can.
Billy also, guys, Billy's coming too.
Yes.
And then
Billy's
the swag
coming.
bags are amazing. And if you're an OG, you get one or a VIP.
Yeah, it is. It is a pretty amazing.
All right, ready? How emotions affect the body physically.
Mhm.
Have you ever been in love?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, do you know that when you're in love, both food and drinks taste sweeter?
That's actually pretty incredible if you think about that. So food and drink actually taste sweeter when you're feeling of love. So there must be such a release of certain biochemicals, I guess, oxytocin, right?
Dopamine, serotonin. I learned all about this from our show.
So I mean, there's such a release of it that it actually affects your taste buds to actually taste and taste and smell better. That's amazing, isn't it?
That everything can taste and smell better when you're in love?
Yeah, this is the honeymoon effect. I guess Bruce
Oh,
talked about. Yeah.
there wasn't anything about smelling better.
Oh, really?
No, but I mean, that makes sense.
Well, I mean, I'm saying
where
if you're
my brain is going. Brain.
But I'm saying your senses are heightened, so why not?
Yeah, I
Why not
like that.
everything tastes better?
Well, do you want to know
smell
what
better.
anger does?
What does anger do?
It increases the blood circulation to your limbs and your heart, which in turn does not let you fall asleep. So I
And
think
that's why you're so red right now.
I'm not red.
I'm just saying, then you're angry.
It's a tan.
It was a tan. Oh, okay.
I'm not even tan. I'm gonna be tan. I'm gonna lay out by my pool. But what do you mean? That's why. Wait.
I
I'm
was
confused.
being funny. You're not red.
It didn't.
But
make
you know
me
when
laugh.
people get red, get angry,
Yeah.
that's part
or
of
embarrassed.
Well, that's because your adrenaline and all the biochemicals are really being
And
released.
I was thinking about the Bible verse: "Don't fall asleep on anger. Don't let the sun go down in your anger, because you can't."
Wow,
okay.
look at that. Yeah.
So you want to know what people who feel lonely, sad
What?
do? They estimate the temperature around them as a few degrees colder than it really is. This makes them hot or long for hot food and beverages to compensate for the unwanted emotion.
Wow. Hold on. So they basically when they're angry,
When they're lonely,
Lonely.
or sad,
it's colder. Everything's colder to them.
yes, and they eat. If you think about it, have you ever been really lonely in your life?
Yeah.
Okay, did you eat a lot?
Yeah, I guess.
Same. Relatable.
Right. So you eat a lot because you want to get warmer.
Yeah, I guess. That's crazy.
There's a biological
Thanks
desire for that.
Otis, our wonderful producer who teaches us everything.
I know. That's
Isn't that
wonderful.
interesting?
That is.
So if you guys find yourself eating a lot, maybe ask yourself, am I lonely right now?
Right, yeah. Well, and also what do you do when you're alone or you're sad? You eat ice cream, right? Boy, that's getting colder though.
I drink.
Do you?
I drink alone.
You drink
I don't know why people say don't do that. I mean, it's super healthy.
No, it's not.
Why?
Drinking alone is never healthy.
Why can't you have a glass of wine by yourself in your bathtub in solitude?
Okay.
When you're a mother.
And they can stop there. You got to finish the bottle.
Oh, I can stop.
All right. 1 glass of wine in the bathtub.
Yeah, maybe 2.
All right. See, there
I'll
you go.
stop at 2.
2 turns into 3.
Patrick, you said you're going to be here
Now you gotta
Friday.
finish the
You need to
bottle.
come in on Thursday. Okay. I think so because because Stacy will be here. Okay, so cardiologists from the University of Maryland Medical Center have figured out that laughter decreases the risk of heart attacks.
We had a whole show on laughter too. Yeah.
This happens because you lower the level of stress hormones in your body when you laugh.
Mm.
What do you think about that?
Well, we talked about that on one of the other shows, and I have to say that is probably the most powerful way to actually turn your life around is by laughter.
Turn around every now and then. We should do karaoke.
You really look at she's having an ADD moment. So can I finish the conversation
Yes.
here? All right. So karaoke. So
Let's
but
karaoke our
laughter is you could make yourself laugh and get yourself out of a depressed state.
Okay,
believe so.
do you believe that you can actually fake a laugh and then you'll start making it basically?
Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. You don't think you can? Do
I
you?
don't know how I feel about that. I
Really?
mean, I'll try. I'll try to make myself laugh.
What about the jealousy feeling though? Tell me about that.
Okay, so the jealousy feeling, which we've all felt, I don't care who you are, I can't stand when people say, oh, I don't have a jealous bone in your body. Everybody has felt jealousy. Everybody.
Yes. I mean, envy and jealousy kind of go hand in hand.
No,
you know?
they're I think they're totally different.
Really? I'll describe.
Yeah, because I don't feel like I'm envious of anybody. However, I've had feelings of jealousy, especially.
Stop, Shannon McVeigh.
No,
You're,
it's true.
Okay, when you're watching on social media and all these people are getting certain attention, you're not envious a little bit of that?
No.
right.
Why would you be?
I don't know.
I love.
Okay,
Contrary to what you believe, in my mind, I'm like.
Okay, are you envious of the UI Media Network?
No. All right. Those of you just tuning in now, this is why you need to download uimediaapp.com so you can rewatch the show. We're going to fix this. You are so funny.
I got you on that one.
Yeah.
All right. So envy versus jealousy. What's
Yes.
the difference?
So I think envious is you wanting something that person has. Jealousy is a feeling that you get, like for instance,
You're losing something.
Or like if another woman comes in that's prettier than you and flirting with your husband, and you're just like, oh, that hurts a little bit, like that kind of
That
jealousy.
jealousy, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like a feeling.
Okay.
Envy is like you want what that person has, and I think that's a waste of time. Why would anybody want to do that? We're
All right.
all supposed to live our own ways.
Okay, so you say you're less jealous, but
No, I'm more
you're
jealous.
you're less envious, but more jealous.
Yes.
What's the worst thing you've done when you're in your jealous rage?
Oh, probably
in your jealous, angry rage.
I probably raged a time or two.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Like, give me an example.
Like smacked him in his face. No, I don't know. I don't know an example right now. I mean, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to tell you. It's bad.
Tell us this one.
I remember one time, this is back when I was not conscious at all.
Jealousy is possessive, by the way.
Yeah.
That's what Stacy said.
So when I was 28, guys, which you know me now at 37, so this is almost a decade ago. And I'm brand new I'm like a newborn, right? With my consciousness. So it's like I'm learning how to crawl before I walk. So please don't judge me on this. But I was dating a guy and he made me jealous at a party. So in turn, it's so messed up. But I went with another guy type thing because I was like, screw this. I'm not going to deal with this. And I left with another guy.
And the jealousy.
Because I really hurt myself because I was feeling jealous.
Yes. So you made a decision out of jealousy. This is where I think people go wrong, or they make decisions.
On Awaken Atlanta.
There you go. But I mean, just think about it. People, and listen, we're all been there, Shannon. You're not alone, honey.
Thank you.
But it's just in the midst of an emotional rage, jealousy, anger, love, whatever, we make decisions and choices.
Right.
Okay. And so,
yes.
And even on the positive side, we make decisions and choices, right?
Yes. There's always choices.
Yes.
There's free will.
And then when we make these choices, say in the midst of a jealous rage, like you did, it could turn out pretty bad. You could have been abducted.
I could have been raped.
Yeah, exactly. Things could have happened.
I mean, I was willing that night, but if I wasn't, I could have been raped.
But I mean, there could have been real consequences of letting an emotion take the worst of you. And I'd like to know kind of what your guys' emotions out there and the decisions you made from your emotional response that led down a road that you're not very happy about or don't want to even share.
But share it because it feels good to share it. I mean, you guys, we're like naked in front of you. I say this all the time. It's like our diary, right? We're naked in front of all of our beautiful listeners and watchers of Awaken Atlanta. And you got to be careful. I mean, we need tough skin, basically, because people can run with it. I can get some hate mail because of what I just said.
She gets a lot of it.
I do not.
Yeah,
I get very nice mail. Why don't we read some comments?
All right, go ahead.
Catherine said, Shannon was not conscious? No way. Stacy said, never make decisions in the heat of an emotion. And I think that's true, but that becomes with maturing, right?
Yes.
Because you don't understand. When you don't know, guys, you don't know. The best thing that we can do is realize certain things about ourselves and what we need to work on.
Yeah.
And that's the way that we're going to take steps in the right direction.
Well, see, this is my thing. I think emotions are how we manifest. And I think when the intensity of a thought goes into a feeling, and then feeling goes into a belief, this emotional aspect.
And then it goes into a behavior.
Yes, but the emotional aspect of that thought that we put around that thought, whether it's jealousy or whatever the emotion is I believe is the process how we actually manifest hand over fist, how we manifest things in our life that we're focused on. You know, often we're focused on negative things, so we experience sometimes negative things, right? But I think the understanding emotions and getting a handle on it and not letting it just run wild in our lives, I think is an important aspect of learning how to be a human being.
Yes, and I think can I add to that a little bit for people like me in layman's terms?
Guys,
if you're thinking so negative and you're posting like on Facebook and you're negative and you can't seem to get out of it and negative things keep happening and happening, you need to really look inward at that point because you're kind of creating this. So once you start doing positive and living life with gratitude, I swear a snowball effect will start happening. I just had to write that to somebody that I don't even know, but like she just was so negative and my heart just broke for her on Facebook because she's not getting out of this. Have you ever been in that where it's just hit after hit after hit and you don't understand what's going on?
But then when you sit back and you look at what your thoughts are, where they are, and you see that you're very negative and you're very low frequency, and that is perpetuating, you're attracting those experiences in your life. You ever connect the dots on that?
Yes, I love being in high frequency right now. I can feel my body different. My body's different being high.
No kidding.
Well,
yeah, Shannon is high on CBD oil.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
plus
CBD oil. Catherine said, when emotions run high, intelligence can run low. You're absolutely right. And I think that's important to take your emotions out when you have an argument. Now, ask me if I do that.
Yeah, I think she doubles down.
I am like so emotional, and my intelligence is very low when I'm emotional. It's true.
Well, listen, what do you think about that? Do you think certain genders express emotions differently?
Yeah, I
Come on,
mean, I
Shannon.
kind of want to say yes.
Like what? What are you just about to say?
I think that for women, we are more emotional beings, maybe. And
Okay, definitely.
yeah, so I do think that we can react a little bit differently because men and you guys seem to like, okay, say you fight with your bro, right? You get in a fight and you guys are having beers the next minute. Women are not like that. Women will fight and they will like take that to their death, that grudge.
Right.
And that's kind of like be more like a man in that sense, women.
Well, do you think because women are being controlled more by their emotions, or you think because they're controlling their emotions?
Yes, that's why we should not have a woman president. I'm just kidding. Go to break. I'm just kidding. I am just kidding, world. We need a woman president. Actually, I love that this world saved me.
I'm kidding. Listen.
Women are terrible drivers.
Oh, man.
Guys,
you gotta
I'm joking.
You gotta
Shock value.
You gotta love that shock value.
I am a bad driver, though.
All right, but listen, in other words, just don't vote for Shannon for president or put her behind a car.
No.
And then you will all be safe.
I am fine with traditional. Just hire me a driver.
But I mean, do you think, back to the woman and the emotional question here, do you think women we're talking about the feminine energy of emotion, because
Right.
I think emotions are ascension process. I think we can't really ascend spiritually, move forward and manifest things quickly that we truly want without our emotions, you know. And there's a lot of cultures that are more emotional than other cultures. It's not just a gender thing, you know. And I think, however, I think comes with the power of emotion, comes with the ability to control it. And most of us have not had the ability or the instructions to learn how to control our emotions because we're not taught this.
Right.
So however, I don't think, I think like for men, I'm going to stereotype here, often will say, oh my God, look how crazy sex she is. She's so irrational. I mean, she's going from there to there and you know, and it's like, it's scary to guys. It really is, you know. But it's not that, it's not.
I love scaring men. That's awesome.
White, have you been scared by a woman's emotions?
Oh yeah.
What are you guys most afraid of? Like they're gonna like Lorena Bob at you?
No,
not that.
So what makes you fear?
Well, because you say one thing and you're like, God, I just said something and I really didn't, and just take it to the extreme.
And
you know?
Tim Ray, guys, does that all the time. And he's surrounded by beautiful, powerful women that nobody takes it. So he's God's poor guy. So he's getting beat up.
He likes it.
He does like it. You created this.
I created this mess.
You did.
But my point being is that the emotions are so powerful, and I think women are more likely, stereotype, are more likely to be in that power role. It's just a matter of learning how to handle or navigate with these tools of the emotions. And I don't know what the answer is because it's not easy to do. And we're men, I think, our masculine energy, let's say, are say more rational and less emotional, but yet they lose that sense of the power of the emotion. So it's a really interesting whole topic, and I love to get people's feedback.
I know we have a lot of comments.
Right,
you ready?
Yeah, read some.
Okay, so Patrick, I love you, and I don't know how to read some of your comments. Sympathetic versus parasympathetic? I don't know what that means.
Sympathetic versus parasympathetic. That's your nervous response system. So, you know, parasympathetic is feeling love, and sympathetic is feeling fear.
Stacy said, okay, I didn't listen to that. I'll have to go back and watch the show on uimediaapp.com. Stacy said, I do see the same people posting negative things all the time, and it seems bad things constantly follow them around. Yes. And then Billy said to her, they are what they attract. That is absolutely right.
Yeah.
Like, why? How do we not know this at 2019 with all this conscious stuff out there and everybody waking up? We're in a world of evolving right now, of evolution, of evolving to be more conscious, right?
And more and navigating through this world with our emotions. And it's, trust me, I mean, Billy says, you know, I think men are just emotional. I think men have the ability
just as emotional.
I think that they suppress it.
We just react differently.
Well, I think they suppress their emotions a lot more than females do.
So, okay. But then doesn't that make you have a heart attack?
Exactly.
Why suppress? Don't suppress anything unless you're going to cry all the time like a little bee.
Well, you know,
then suppress some stuff.
You know, see, this is why men don't cry. You know, people like Shannon. You know?
I know.
You know, but
well,
no.
In all fairness, I am kind of like a man.
Well, maybe you would be a good president, huh?
Yeah, I would be.
Joke. Okay, so why is it that you think with the emotions, people make decisions that ruin lives? I mean, literally ruin lives.
Because you can't handle it. And this is why you always have to be careful, you guys, because like we said earlier, there's always a choice. You have free will. So don't do anything off of rash decisions, because most of my regrets in my life are off of things that I did not think about that were very impulsive.
Yeah, mine
right?
too. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's everybody. But that's why the whole murder thing, the premeditative murder is worse. Like, I can understand if you just kill somebody because like they cheated and you're so upset about it or heartbroken and it's like the crime of passion.
Right. Well, that's actually a law, those type of crimes of passion. But you're right. Premeditated murder is much worse.
That's the scariest.
Yeah, and that's where you got to watch out for the Lorena Bobbitt's and all.
Yes, I feel like I relate to her. Okay, so the emotions you feel when you are grateful trigger oxytocin. As a result, your immune system becomes stronger and your blood pressure decreases. Plus, the healing process in your body speeds up. See, so practice feeling grateful. How would you practice that, Tim?
You wake up in the morning, you say, "Oh my God, I'm glad I'm still breathing, and I'm glad I'm able to use my 2 feet."
You know what I'm glad for?
What?
Our show.
I'm
so
so
happy for Awaken Atlanta, and I cannot wait to love on each one of you that are coming to the party on Saturday.
I believe that completely when she says that, because I do think you really do have a love for humanity.
I freaking love humanity. I truly do.
Certain humans out there you may not care as much for, but I think in time you would if they gave you a chance.
If people give me a chance, I'll love you forever and be loyal. I'll go to like death for you. I'm like a soldier. Maybe I was a soldier in a past life. Braveheart. Maybe I was Braveheart. All right.
Maybe not.
Why not?
Well, Braveheart, really?
I'm a warrior.
All right.
Braveheart, really? Don't
you
were a woman for sure.
It probably was.
That's why we work so well. I'm more manly, you're more feminine. Tim cries all the time, and I'm always holding him, and it's okay, honey. It's going to be okay.
Let it out.
All right. When you argue, you ready?
Yeah.
When you argue, your body produces more cytokines. Did I say that right?
Cytokines.
Cytokines?
Wow.
Immune molecules that can trigger inflammation. If there are high level of cytokines in your body, it can lead to cancer, heart disease, and arthritis.
Wow.
So let's talk about that.
Right.
What is there ever a healthy arguing? Because I feel like arguing could be healthy. Like sharing your opinion.
I think there's a release, yes, but interesting enough, if you hold on to it, because most of us suppress and repress our feelings and emotions. This is what I believe. Truly, this is why it's so powerful. I truly believe it leads to the manifestation of physical ailments like chronic illnesses.
Yes.
Over time when it's not dealt with, and I do believe these like feelings and thoughts. We know, guys, fact. They have physical properties. They're actual energy, and they have physical properties. And we're also realizing through the energetic work that we're bringing back into the Western society is that it gets suppressed into our tissues and into our body, certain parts of our body. And while that frequency is lodged somewhere in your tissue, it's there, and it's causing problems.
Your white blood cells to clump together.
It's causing problems with that area of the body. But until we release that, once you release that emotion, once you release that frequency, that's when it releases, and you start physically healing, and you start feeling better.
You know what? People should look into the body code.
Yeah?
The body code. Have you heard of that?
No.
So it's like a therapist. I did this. And I remember it was my first therapy session, and he said, "How do you?" And there was me, and there was him, and then another woman who, for lack of a better word, especially my Christian folks, don't yell at me for saying this word, but she was kind of like a medium. She's like a surrogate, where she believes like the Holy Spirit has given her powers to kind of like be like a medium, okay?
Yeah.
So they said, like, what's the percentage that you want to get better? I'm like, 100%. And she was like, 8%. And I was so pissed. I'm like, you think I only 8% want to get better? And then they did this thing, and it was really weird. She's like, something's picking up. When you were 17, 2 things happened. And I'm like, nothing happened. And then I realized, holy cow, something happened. And you know what they did? They stood me up, they put their hands on me, they prayed on me, and they released that. And then by the end of all my therapy sessions, because they like unlock traumatic
things. Did you
things.
feel a change?
Yes. By the end of like, I probably had 6 or 7 therapy sessions with them. By the end, I was 97. My body wanted 97% to get better. So it started out at 8% to 97%.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, it's funny how they could gauge that type of percentage.
Well, I believe it though. Guys, there is so much magic almost out there of healing ourselves that we're not doing.
And listen, and that's what the whole point about the emotions, I think feelings and emotions is critical understanding. And that's why we're spending a whole freaking show on it, because if it's true that our emotions and feelings we suppress and repress actually physically eventually will manifest into chronic illnesses, what's more important in this life? The job that you work, the house that you live in, the car that you ride, or navigating through life and understanding how to control and manage our emotions, or at least express our emotions in a healthier way. I mean, wouldn't that be more of a why are we not learning this in first grade? Why are we not learning this in, as our parents teaching this? I mean, they're still trying to, how dysfunctional families are because emotional abuse is so rampant because we're so ignorant about emotions.
Yes, we're so ignorant about
emotions.
We're ignorant even that we're being abused. Like you're ignorant. Like if you've ever been in a situation where you're abused, you don't even know you're abused until somebody points it out and you're like, oh, that was weird. That's normal to me.
Yeah, you don't know better. Kids don't know better.
That's not a big deal that he called me that name. That's a big deal. Like you don't understand.
It's like Stockholm syndrome, and it's over a period of time. You like, wow. Like Teal Swan talks about this. That's why I love her so much. She talks about how emotional, and it bothers her the most, is the emotional abuse is so rampant. It's like death by paper cuts, a million paper cuts. You just don't realize the effects of the emotional abuse and most of us don't have negative intentions to emotionally abuse anybody. This is how we were raised because we never learned how to navigate with emotions.
Then why would the emotional abuser want control? Do you think it's subconscious? They want control. They don't realize that they're doing it? Or do you think that they know really?
I think they don't know. I think it's unconscious. I think it's an unconscious programming that we learn. We like two things. When we're abused emotionally, we either act it out or act it in. And often we act it out on other people. I mean, you could do this to you don't ever experiment with this. You could do this to a 4-year-old with another 4-year-old. You yell at them, you'll see them yelling at their friend. Because they don't know how to process the emotions. Like, my God, I just got yelled at, so I have to get rid of it. It's like pass it on like hot potato.
That reminds me of Winnie playing with her 2 toys the other day. She goes, I'm sorry. And then the other one said, sorry doesn't cut it. And I was like, ooh, that's a mom fail. I should never say sorry doesn't cut it. Are we going to break?
Yeah.
Is that what that was? All right, guys, when we come back, we're in tribe time, and we have some emails, which means we have some advice to give. So it's all about you. Call in.
Stay tuned, guys. We're back in 45 seconds. Come on, hang in there.
Like Tim, 45 seconds.
45-second Tim.
You are listening to Awaken Atlanta, a conscious way to start your day on the UI Media Network, sponsored by the United Intentions Foundation.
Download the UI Media Smart app at uimediaapp.com to watch and listen to all your favorite shows anytime from anywhere in the world. Shows that enrich, entertain, educate, and feeds the conscious cells throughout your body. We bring you never heard before topics in health, inspiration, music, psychics, numerology, current affairs, controversies, and much, much more. So what are you waiting for? Visit www.uimediaapp.com and start raising your frequency now.
It's that time again. Time to have fun, play games, and talk to your tribe. Whether you want to talk to a friend, need advice, or just want to connect, we got you. So what are you waiting for? It's time to win cool prizes. Pick up that phone and give us a call at 678-495-4345. Get ready to raise your vibe. It's tribe time.
Good morning, guys. It's Awaken Atlanta. I'm Shannon McVeigh. This is Tim Ray. We are talking about sweet emotions today.
Yes, and Shannon running for president.
Shannon for president 2037.
So
I
funny.
would burn this. I would take this country down.
Talk about your emotions getting the best of you.
Oh my gosh. That reminds me, I was in a job interview once, guys, and
Woman scorned.
I
gotta watch
love
out.
movies, right? And I love, sometimes I like to steal lines from movies. Like I remember one time, and this was bad, but I did the whole, you have a baby in a bar. You know what I mean? Do you know what that movie's from? Sweet Home Alabama. Women will know it. Well, anyway, I was doing a job interview, guys, and this was for my first radio gig. So this was way back in the day. This was like 15 years ago. And I was like a nervous wreck. So I tried to leave him with passion. And I told him, I was like, hey, if you give me a chance, I will blow this company up. And then if that said, like, I will run this company to the ground. Just give me a chance.
It's like Shannon, that's not what we were looking for.
Yeah,
you know?
but we still laugh about it to this day. Thank God they still saw me for, like, who I was, and they hired me.
Oh,
but
that is so funny.
I know. All right.
All right, let me just mention real
yes.
quick here. We have our Wake and Start today. Eileen Dillon comes on in about 15 minutes, 10 minutes. And she's an emotional pro. You're going to love her. She drives around the whole country in an RV, sharing and helping people understand and process in a healthy way their emotions and feelings. Come on. Isn't that
Which we
wonderful?
all need to learn healthier ways to deal with our feelings.
Absolutely.
Because feelings are fleeting. Do you agree with that?
Yes. Well, yeah, no, because right now, think about when I said earlier.
Yeah, no.
Well, let me ask you this question before you read the email.
Okay.
You could almost look back and see for your day, how your day starting, and overall, and if you had the whole emotional scale here, how you feel on emotional. It could be just anxious, it could be hopeful, it could be anger, whatever your overall day. And then you can look at the last 30 days, what was your feeling predominantly? And then look at you for the last year, how have you been feeling? You could literally get a gauge and say, overall, I've been joy and happy, or I've been depressed.
Right.
For the last year, I've been depressed. Not every day, not every minute, but for the overall year. And so these are the things that we don't take notice or account of because we never think about it often, And if that's the case, think for a whole year, you allowed yourself to be depressed. Think about that.
And life
It's
is
a
so
choice.
beautiful, guys.
And short.
And short. It's so short. And in the depression, there's beauty in it. You have to remember that too. There's beauty in the breakdown.
There is beauty in embracing depression, embracing the feeling, but at the same time, when we dwell in it, that's when it becomes destructive and I think very
Right.
harmful physically to ourselves, not to mention mentally or emotionally.
Yes. And that's when we make bad choices, like the one that I shared with you guys 20 minutes ago on our show.
What, you running for president?
Yeah, that's a terrible choice. All right, you ready for an email?
All right, good.
We have two, of course, because
Okay.
we always do two. Hey, Tim and Shannon, how are you? This is Robert calling from Fort Myth, South Carolina.
Hey.
I've been watching to your show for a while, and I've got to say I agree with Tim on a lot of things.
Well,
but
good,
I don't.
Robert. I like you already.
Wait, but there's a but. I don't
course.
agree with him when he says that you should smash your Xbox. I am 39 and an avid gamer. I don't see anything wrong.
Oh, Robert.
Did you know that there are professional gamers who get paid to play video games? I'm sorry, Robert, but you sound like my son, my 12-year-old son.
Good.
In fact, the top gamer who goes by the name Ninja made over $500,000 last year.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
that's
okay.
not realistic,
Okay, but
though, right?
hold on. Ninja, I get it because he's making some good money and I understand that. But if life's just about money, making money and sitting and playing a video game.
Hey,
then,
he's doing what he loves, though. Good for him.
Well, he's doing what he's addicted to.
Yeah, but
Now,
he loves
but
it.
let me.
I'm addicted to Awaken Atlanta.
Okay, but let me ask you this other question though. If somebody is doing that, say playing that game all the time, right? Playing whatever the video game is, doesn't matter what it is.
I'm gonna give you my advice after
Okay.
this.
But and they're just doing it and they're missing out on the ability to create, track, and manifest your intentions every day, like connecting the dots. Like, my God, why do you need a video game when you are in a video game, a real life video game, creating and manifesting with your intentions? My God, isn't that the best video game possible? There's no boundaries, there's no parameters like they have in the video games. You could create literally anything in your world if you learn how to master emotions, learn how to master the thoughts, learn how to get your brain working for you, not you working for your brain. What if that could be the ultimate game? Make that your game be a gamer.
Right, I agree. That's beautiful. But this is what I have to say.
But
guys, if you're getting paid to be a video gamer, then good for you.
It's all about the money.
No, but it doesn't matter. That's your job at that point. But what I have a problem with is these grown men and these Peter Pan going home and zoning out
Smoking
to video
pot.
games for hours. That's crazy to me. When you could be like raising your children or hanging out with your wife.
Guys, it's an addiction. It's an addiction. And it's a bottom line, and that's
don't let it just take you down.
So
just
yes,
play it for a little bit.
get your iBox, whatever they call the thing, Xbox.
No, I don't think you should
take it
smash
outside and smash it on the ground, just in principle.
Like everything, moderation is fine.
Well, I mean, just to make a symbolic gesture of, I'm tired, I'm not
Those
going to
things
take
are
it anymore.
expensive.
Good. Then you don't buy another one.
My
after you
husband
realize
did
you
that
just
once
smashed
to
it.
our son. He grabbed his Xbox and threw it outside, and then the next week we had to pay for another freaking PlayStation. I'm like, that was so dumb. What a waste of money.
I think that's good.
Okay. Ready for our next email? Does anyone have anything to say to you? So,
Robert, I
you
saw
know,
Robert.
we love you, dude. Just don't play Xbox that much. Don't be an avid gamer because there's a life out there waiting for you.
To
And you're not
create-
getting paid.
To create.
You're not getting paid to be a
Anyway,
gamer.
the ninjas out there, real quick. The ninjas out there are like Hollywood actresses. You know what it takes to become an A-list actor? The odds are so against you. This is why half of Hollywood is
May
out
the
in the
odds
streets
forever be in
having
your
sex
favor.
with people because they're not able to meet. They're not. And it's not about how
Where's
talented you
Weinstein
are.
when we need him?
But it's not about how talented you are. It's who you know and who you know what. So I'm telling you, it's a whole nother story.
Stacy says, I play video games with my kids. See, that's different. You're
Well-
not going to just constantly be on it.
Well, you can condition them at a young age to get.
Right, ready
hooked
for the
into
next
it.
one?
Yeah.
Hey, Tribe, I was writing to say thank you to Tim. I was listening last week.
But-
Why is this all about Tim? These
But-
emails. Who chose these emails? Tim did. I was listening last week when he was talking about how grieving and death is really for the family left behind and not the person who actually died. Not to be a downer, but a family member of mine recently committed suicide. I know that's terrible and all, but listen to what happened next. The immediate family made up a false story and said that the cause of death was a motorcycle accident because they did not want to deal with the suicide. Maybe it's because they're religious and believe suicides don't go to heaven. I don't know. But I feel like we're disrespecting his life and legacy. He made a choice that we should accept, but somehow my family is not. What do you think? I mean, did he commit suicide on the motorcycle? That's bizarre. What a bizarre thing to
he
do.
committed suicide. They just said that he died on a motorcycle
That's
just to cover it.
bizarre.
Well, that's interesting though. It's an interesting concept.
I mean,
because-
you can't lie to yourself. I guess if you lie to yourself so much, you start to believe it. Maybe
they're lying.
that's bizarre.
They're worried about the social. I think they're worried about the social impact. Like, my God, how screwed up of a family you had to have your kid want to kill themselves? What did you do bad as a parent?
By the way,
I think that's what they're trying to cover up.
you know what? If you kill yourself, I don't believe you're going to go to hell like these religions made it out to be anyway.
Well,
Like, let's point that out.
Okay, but why do you say that? How do you like?
Because it's nowhere. I've not found that anywhere. I've heard that from my Catholic priest, but with my relationship with God and the Bible, I have not ever interpreted that.
Okay, so I mean, it's a pretty predominant belief.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially with Roman Catholics, how I was raised.
I know. So,
But that's nuts to like.
why do you think the parents did that? In your opinion,
I don't know. I think it's bizarre.
do you think I have any validity what I just said? Did you even listen to what I just said?
Yeah.
What did I say, Shannon? I said, so you know, is that I
Yeah.
believe the parents are feeling shame that their son killed themselves,
Right.
and that they're worried about how people will perceive them as parents,
Yes.
thinking that they
That's 100%
thinking
right.
that they did something bad as a parent.
I think if we were to analyze something that we don't know these people, that would probably be the closest
right,
thing.
and but but think about that. I mean, why people do that, and I think that's alone kind of it takes away the whole authentic self experience.
I see this as very
What?
I know it's hurt, it's painful, but you guys, this is a good example of always just living life as truthfully as possible. That's not going to benefit anybody. They could bring awareness to suicide. Instead, they're making it something it's not.
They're suppressing.
And they're hurting motorcycle statistics.
Oh God, Shannon.
What? It's real. Billy said, I think the feeling of shame plays a big part in that. So.
In the recap, make sure we put in there Shannon for president, okay, guys? Just FYI.
Oh gosh.
I would wake up. I'd get back into politics if Shannon was president. That's a God's honest truth.
Because you'd what is it called?
Every day,
Impeach me?
No, every day I'd be on that TV waiting for you to say something that I would be like.
They thought Donald Trump was bad. Oh, man, I'm worse than locker room talk, right?
Yeah, it won't be grab that. You know what? It'll be something else. So but it's I just think it's a sad situation. I think to the email that the parents should look in the mirror and say, okay, really, why are we covering this up? In honor of him or in honor of, or not in honor of, dishonor of ourselves?
Have you ever covered up something in your life so
Yes.
much?
Yeah.
Have you ever came out and open with it?
Yeah.
Okay, don't you feel so much better?
You do. It's a relief. That's
You
one thing.
know-
One thing I learned from you is that because you can't keep a secret.
No.
I mean, it's
even
impossible.
the secrets that hurt me, guys, I'm open and honest
I know.
about. So ooh.
Is that the more you could share that, then better off you'll be.
Yeah, and I think that if you guys, whatever you have in the darkness, whatever it is, if you've done something wrong in your way, if you've done something that you're feeling shame about, talk to one person about it. I promise it'll make you feel better. At least just one person. Like confess, right? To at
Confess.
least one person.
What do you think? What do you think of confession? By the way, the Roman Catholic, when you go
I
in there,
don't
forgive me,
agree.
Father, for I have sinned. It's been 2 years since my last confession. You
I
know.
have my own direct line to God.
Yeah, but what do you think of that? What do you think of the whole process?
I think it's
there?
a control thing.
Really.
Because it's like
You
saying
don't think it's like a therapeutic experience?
yeah, but then you have to go and do penance for it. You have to do 17.
You say a couple Hail
75
Marys,
Hail
a couple
Marys.
Fathers, and you're out.
But that's kind
You're
of
back out on the streets.
That's like saying
sinning.
That's like saying this is what you
At
have
least
to
till the
do.
next 7 days.
It's not what you do for God. It's
But-
everything is what God does for you guys.
I get it. I'm being funny, but that's really the cycle there. You know, you go in, you apologize for what you did, and then you get back out doing what you apologizing what you did.
Yeah. So if you want to talk to a priest, do it.
What, Wahid?
Talk to someone.
I don't think you should repent to man. You got to repent to
I agree.
the spirit.
But it's okay to confess certain things to a person if you can't. Like I probably don't have one dark secret. I've at least one person knows one of my dark secrets.
Right.
In my case, like 7 people know my dark secrets. But you know what I mean? Like, because I feel liberated from that. That's why you can never blackmail me. Somebody try, I dare you. I will leak that story first, whatever it is. All right, why don't you tell us who's coming online or on air?
Eileen Dillon. She is an emotional pro, guys. I love her so much. I had her on the show a while ago, and she's just one of those gentle souls, wise souls.
Devoted her life to helping others.
Well, not only that, but she travels around alone. She has no fear of being alone. She interacting. Her soul is just matured to the point where she's just a joy, and she brings joy to people's lives. I mean, isn't that something you want a mentor to be like?
Yes, and I can't wait to talk to her.
I know, me too, guys.
So she's coming on now, right?
Yes, so guys, stay tuned. It's very quick break. We have Eileen Dillon. She'll be here for the next half hour talking about our emotions and how we could really learn how to navigate with them and create the world that we truly want to create, heaven on earth. Isn't that what you were here for?
Yes.
Heaven as earth. Somebody told me that. Heaven as earth. I think that was Catherine.
Okay,
Create heaven as earth. That's what we want.
I hurt from the things that I've been through. Despite all the love, only one in this world that I hated was me. I looked in the mirror and show him a smile, cause I know he's the person I'm fated to be. Here on this road, even though I still haven't left yet, I feel so alone. When I have so many I don't regret.
You are listening to Awaken Atlanta, a conscious way to start your day on the UI Media Network, sponsored by the United Intentions Foundation.
Live every day with purpose with the Seeds of Intention Daily Planner.
A goal is just a dream until you write it down. Now, the awesome thing about writing things down is because in a year's time, you can see all of the specific things that are actually in your life right now. You can really chronicle the progression of the relationship and how you got from one goal to the next to the next.
To learn more, go to unitedintentions.org and click on Shop and make the commitment today to make the authentic change.
It's the perfect hour, and the stars are aligned. These conscious superstars are here to brighten your day. Listen to their stories as they connect, motivate, and build you from the bottom up. It's inspiration time with our awakened stars.
All right, we are back live in the UI Media Network on the show called Awaken Atlanta, and we are having our launch party July 20th, and going to be basically sharing Shannon with the rest of the world.
Who doesn't want to share Shannon? Especially after the stories I shared with you guys today.
Shannon is our gift to you.
So messed up.
Just keep her.
Somebody take this girl off my hands.
Guys, we have Eileen Dillon here. She is an emotional pro and also author of a newly released book called Emotions in Motion. I love that. Emotions in Motion. So welcome, without further ado, welcome to Eileen. Eileen, hi, how are you?
Hi again. It's good to see you.
Yes, God, we just love your energy, and you haven't had a chance to meet Shannon.
Good morning. Hi, I'm Shannon. Thank you for being a part of Awaken Atlanta.
Hi. I really relate to you. I'm so bad at keeping secrets that it bothers other people, but I think that truth is what we will be living according to in coming years.
Yes.
And you're really just ahead of your time. I just want to say that to you.
Thank you so much. Take that, Tim Ray. Eat that for
Damn.
breakfast.
Wow, I'm gonna have to go back and reevaluate my whole life now.
Yes, he's been making fun of me. All right, so why don't you explain? Because Tim, he has a way of explaining what people do, but I like to hear it from the cat's. Is it called the cat's mouth? Do I say that right?
The horse's mouth.
Oh, the horse's mouth?
Yeah.
Tell me what you do.
I think she just insulted you.
No, I.
All right, okay. Go ahead, Eileen. What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, for 50 years, I have worked as a marriage and family therapist and a psychotherapist
Wow.
based in California. But more important to what I'm talking about with you is that I'm a recovered angry person.
Mm.
And so I have since my first husband left me at age 28 and I'm now 76, I've been investigating anger because
Wow.
I found out that not even therapists, not even universities hold courses on what causes anger, how can we work with it, how much can we do to ease it off, all kinds of things.
What about
And
anger
I was a
management?
single parent, and
Hold on.
Okay. Side
What?
note: anger management doesn't tackle that.
As Tim knows, I don't like to talk about anger management. I
Okay.
like to talk about anger mastery.
Ooh.
It's the difference between a horse, somebody who breaks horses, and somebody who's a horse whisperer.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Mastery. See, when you manage it, you're busy trying to herd the emotion and you have to work with it, and then you handle it in this situation, and then you have to go to another situation and handle it again. My approach is that if you understand what emotions are for and how we need to work with them, then you set up a system and it starts to work to the point where the anger just sort of falls into the background, the fear falls into the background. And it's there to help us. We can never get rid of emotions.
Right.
They're there to help us, but they are not front stage.
Isn't it amazing? It's
So
all,
that's
Eileen, you articulated it so perfectly because it is a mastery. And the problem, though, that I see, and Eileen, tell me if you concur, and Shannon, tell me if you concur, is that we get no directions. There's no guidebook. There's no, like, this is what you do with anger. This is what you do with love. This is what you do with jealousy.
there he is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
Well, hold that up a little longer. You're so fast with that. Let me see that again. So it's emotions in motion, mastering life's something. I can't read that.
Built-in navigation system.
Excellent. Okay, so let's go there. Let's spend this last period of time talking about this navigation system that we're all clueless about, or majority of us are, because it seems like emotions get the best of us. More so, some people, individuals, whether different genders or different groups, it seems to get the best of us because we don't know what to do with them.
Right. And I want to hark back to what you guys were talking about in the last part of the show, which is people hiding from life, essentially. And we're not going to do well with emotions if we hide from life. We need to first understand that we're all here on the earth to grow. This is a big, giant school. We all came here to grow. And if you get with the program, it's kind of like if you go to school and you decide, I don't want to be at school, so I'm not doing anything, you'll have a really rough time.
Right.
But when you come to the earth, we're here to go to school to learn. And the purpose of the learning is for our own growth and development. It's not a bad outcome. All right. So the first thing that we have to do is things to learn. And the more we learn, the better our life goes, the more smoothly it goes.
Right.
Now, regarding emotions, we have learned for generations, as you and I spoke on the previous program, Tim, we've learned for generations to push emotions away, that they're bad, we demonize them, we try to stuff them down inside of ourselves. Well, guess what? Any emotion that's held inside grows.
Yes.
So just take
Like
a
a
look at our
cancer.
world right now and see what has happened to all the emotions that we've been holding on to. And my contention is that now is the time where we need to take the emotions out of the closet, take a look at them, learn to work with them, and move on to the next thing and not be stuck here, because emotions really are running our lives right now for most people and for our world.
So I have a personal question real quick, because
Okay.
you said
That
that
is
you're
brilliant information, by the way.
Oh, yes, I know. But because you are now living this kind of life, and you said your first husband left you, are you remarried? Did you master this yourself?
Yes,
Okay.
I
Good
consider
question.
myself an anger master. And once I learned about anger, I saw how all that I had learned applied to other emotions as well. Plus, I was a psychotherapist for 50 years, so I began to experiment with other people. So I've actually worked with this with hundreds and hundreds of people, and I'm very confident. Maybe it won't work for every single person, but it certainly can work for a whole lot of people. And yes, I in fact got married 2 more times.
Okay.
Because I had gotten because I had held on to anger during my early childhood. There was a whole lot inside of me that messed up relationships.
Right.
Okay. And so I had my first marriage, I married when I was 19. Then I remarried, but unfortunately, I picked somebody who had bipolar disorder.
Mhm.
And then my third marriage, my husband was a neurosurgeon and a very powerful man. I think that reflected that I had developed quite a bit. And unfortunately, he died in early 2016, which set me on
Sorry to
my
hear.
current path.
And that's when you're traveling now the world, right, with your RV,
Yeah.
teaching people emotions.
Yeah.
Are you going to come to Atlanta? Are you in Atlanta?
Can you come down to
I'm
Atlanta?
6 hours away. I'm 6 hours away from you. I'm in North Carolina right now, and I do intend to come probably in
Saturday?
August sometime.
Well, set your
Yeah,
set your
I
RV
heard
at
you
my
are
place.
having that event.
I have a good
Sorry.
electricity.
Yeah, you can stay at Tim's house. He's got like a.
Let you get electricity. We'll get your RV hooked up outside. No
Yeah.
problem. So,
Oh,
Eileen,
that's wonderful.
so Eileen, what you talked just a minute ago was just phenomenal and so critical. And I think we need to kind of emphasize for everyone too, is that we're here to learn our emotions, and most of our emotions we could almost see. If you want to know what your dominant emotion is, like I was telling Shannon earlier, think about how like overall you felt for the last year. It could have been a depression, could have been excitement, joy, whatever. There's a predominant feeling there. But if you look at the world right now, you could almost gauge of what the world's status of emotional status is collectively just by what you're looking at. Now, take into account, you can't just look at the news and think that's the world, because the news is a skewed perspective of looking at the world from a very negative perspective. I would contend to say there are probably 10 million times more positive things happening in this world than one negative, just by the nature of life itself. And us being spiritual beings and being good spiritual beings to begin with, But nevertheless, if you look at some of the chaos going on in the world, you could almost gauge what emotion is actually predominant. And how would you describe from your perspective what the predominant emotion is in the world right now?
I'd say anger and fear. There are two of them that are really up. But I want to back up just a minute. As a therapist, and as an individual, because I went through this too, what I learned is that when an individual is ready to make major change, the first thing they do is fall apart. Everything in their life falls apart. They can't count on anything that they counted on before. Their emotions erupt all the time.
Yes.
And I actually have a paper written on it. It's called the identity crisis process, where we fall apart. And I just would like to say that what I think is happening in the world is that as the people of the world, we are going through a worldwide identity crisis.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of things falling apart. Now, the purpose of the identity crisis is that as an individual, I got off on the wrong foot. I started capitulating to my parents and people around me, building myself as I'm growing up to be somebody that I didn't really come here to be. So before I can move into who I really am and have my effective adult life, I need to shed that shell. Okay. And I would say that we are shedding our shell here on Earth too. So a lot of people are really scared about what's going on, and it doesn't make sense. But in this context, to me, it makes a lot of sense. Things are falling apart. And, you know, when people come into my office and they're falling apart, they think they're losing it. They think they're going crazy.
Right.
And I tell them, I assure them that they are.
It's I would couch it as divine insanity.
Well, sure, you can call it
Whatever.
Say, whatever, Tim, you
listen,
crazy.
Tiffany said, I've noticed that even my own parents don't really understand how to talk about managing your anger. It starts at home. I'm a work in progress and boredom feeds my anger monster. So that being said, how would you encourage a parent to teach your child about anger or how to deal with their anger?
Oh, I actually have written a book about that. So,
well,
aren't we lucky?
It's called The ABCs of Anger. So anger is let me back up here. Tim, you and I already talked about this. So emotions are energy, and they follow the rules of energy. You can't destroy them. You can't originate them. They have to move. If you stop them from moving, they build up. They build pressure. When they get released, once they've built up that pressure, they are destructive. All right. So that's the way emotions work. Emotions are given to human beings, in my learning, to help us navigate our lives. Every single emotion has a signal that it gives to us. Like if you feel love towards somebody, what does it signal you to do? To come closer. If you feel lonely, the signal is that you have more energy going out than coming in. All right. So the signal of anger is that you have ideas in your head about how things are supposed to be, and they're not. We have them in terms of shoulds. You should not fail to call me when you should keep your promises, all of these things. We get angry when our shoulds get violated. So teaching children about anger is really easy. Emotions are easy to work with because they make sense. And you just recognize, well, I need to keep this energy moving. And how do I keep the energy moving? And if I identify my should, then I can figure out what I need to change in my life. Like if I think you should not sit there silently the way you are right now, I could get angry, right? Because you're violating my should.
Was that passive aggressive?
Well, that's one way to handle it.
Yeah.
But it's inside. You're not making me mad, right? It's my should that's getting violated. And that should is getting violated so I can see my own rigidity.
Expectations create resentment.
Yeah.
Expectations in all of us,
and
right?
And she just said the shoulds. We're going to take a quick break here, Eileen. When we come back, let's pick up where you left off, because I think this is critical for people to realize when we're always that person allow to get angry. Or you allow yourself to be proud. But that's right? Guys, we're talking to Eileen Dillon. Bro.
Be a new burden to shoulder, still bothering me even now when I'm older. Goddamn, it's taking me now to the depths of this ocean. It's dragging me down where it's so hard to breathe, and I feel.
You are listening to Awaken Atlanta, a conscious way to start your day on the UI Media Network, sponsored by the United Intentions Foundation.
Do you want to learn how you can stop sabotaging yourself? I'm here with Dr. Vern Morgan, and I think he's about to tell you just that.
There's great new technology which will allow you to change the old negative programming into very positive strategies. And we do that repetitively strategies affecting the conscious mind and influencing the subconscious mind.
To learn more with UnitedIntentions.org and click on Shop and make the authentic change today.
awakened stars.
All right, we are back with Eileen Dillon. She's an emotional pro. We're talking about feelings and anger and how and I also want to get back later on to the overall effects of the world and how this is just a identity crisis. But we just said
Yeah,
something
I
really
like that.
you said really interesting was that when we get angry, it's really that we're need to learn to not be upset at our own control mechanism or being rigid. Let me explain that one more time to everyone.
Well, the way I look at it is I hold, as you were saying, Shannon, expectations. I have pictures. We develop them very early. So they're just like the things we say in kindergarten. You should only take one cookie. You should wait your turn in line.
Right.
You know, we bring them into our brain in very primitive ways. So really, anger is a gift to us. It's a gift that shows us that we have these rigid ideas about how things are supposed to be in the world. And if we were correct, they would never get violated. And so, really, the ultimate message of anger is that we have a rigid idea of how things are supposed to be, and we need to change it for our own better functioning.
I like that. And tell me, because I feel like there is such thing as righteous anger, and that's almost a good thing. Do you agree with that?
I
No.
don't.
You guys don't. Tell
There
me
is
why.
such a thing as righteous anger, but it's not necessarily a good thing.
All right,
So,
why
yes
not?
and
Because
no.
it's a feeling that we need to go through, though. It's emotion that we need to work
Let
on.
the
Well,
let
And
the
you have
expert
to protect yourself,
let,
right?
let the expert
Oh, yeah,
educate you on
okay.
this one. Go ahead, Eileen.
Well, there are 6 payoffs to holding on to anger. And interesting you ask about righteousness, because righteousness is mine. Every one of us has a different reason that we hold on to anger. And what happens with righteousness is that we believe we don't really have a right to get angry, right? So we don't get angry, we just get righteous. I would never do that to you. Do you really think that's a good way to do that? You know?
Right.
And so the righteousness is just allowing us to hold on to the anger.
See.
And what do we need? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it just hurts because I'm like, I can't get on board with that. What
You're basically
about?
very angry.
Yes, there is. I feel like, okay, you're gonna analyze me.
Good.
I feel like you should get mad at certain situations that should not be happening, like child molesters. That is a righteous anger you feel for that man that did that to that child.
Well, that's your belief. And we all run our lives on the basis of our beliefs. And if that works for you, I have no argument with it. But I would point out the number of shoulds you had in that statement.
Okay.
That you should do this and you should do that and you should feel this. And what I have learned is that shoulds come from outside of me, right? If I encounter one of those situations and I feel angry, then I want to express it. I want to use that anger to help me take action.
Yes.
But I don't want somebody else to tell me what I should get angry about.
Right.
Do you follow?
Yeah. And that's,
So you're totally entitled to that.
I mean, I'm saying what you're saying. You're just way smarter than me.
Oh, okay. So how would you handle?
I've been working on this longer than you.
Eileen, how would you handle, like a great example, a child molester? Say you saw somebody abusing a child, right? What feeling, what emotions would you process through you, and how would you process it?
Well, emotions come up in us. They don't belong to us, so they come up in us, and they come up in us based on our beliefs and our experiences and so forth. I was molested as a child myself. So what would come up in me is, damn it, I'm going to do something about this.
Right.
Oh, we just lost her. Hey, Wahid.
Well,
wow, that went out
she's
quick.
right though. She's and she's
Wahid.
incredibly smart. Actually, Stacy said sometimes anger is justified. If someone hurts my kid, I'm going to be angry. I don't think it's negative to be angry at that point. I don't need to hang on to it, but I would get mad. And I think that's what is important. There is such thing as righteous anger. Am I really supposed
I lost you.
Hi. Thank God you're back.
Hi.
Is she back?
Yeah,
Not sure
I
what
lost you. I
happened
don't
there.
know what happened.
I just lost him.
anger has two signals. One is to talk to us about our shoulds, but the other is to take action. So if I notice that I'm feeling angry, then I start looking for what action do I need to take. And I want to take effective action. So it would depend on the situation. I might need to speak up. I might need to go to an authority. I might need to talk to the parents. I'm not sure what I would do exactly, but I would take some level of action.
Yes, and I like that because even if somebody is treating you poorly, I think Shannon Rose McVeigh, need to feel that anger to realize that I need to take an action. So I think that it doesn't always have to be a bad thing. All right.
Well, having anger is not a bad thing. There is no bad emotion, by the way. We talk about negative emotions, but there aren't any negative emotions. Emotions just are what they are. So like a sunflower is a sunflower. Where they become negative is when we pile them up. So if you take action when you notice anger, then you're using that emotion the way it's intended to be used. And there is no judgment. There's no right or wrong way to work with emotions in the first place. I'm a pragmatist. I want something that works.
Right.
Right.
Well, and it seems like, when we don't do the emotions, you've seen it where it manifests into illness.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I mean, you're holding on to energy. It's like holding water behind a dam. It builds pressure, it builds in depth. And then if you have one little hole in your dam, that water will work until you have a conflagration, a flood.
Right.
So the same is true for emotions. And when we're talking about all the emotions we're seeing in the world today, that's exactly what's happening. We can't hold them back anymore.
Yeah, and I think so. Predominant anger and frustration, or anger and just negativity out there, is basically emotions being suppressed, and so we're going through this identity crisis, not only on the individual level. I think on individual, what's within is without, right, on an individual level, but it's also being seen,
Exactly.
expressed on the outside. So what's your advice for people to learn how to navigate through this right now, so we don't have to hit rock bottom and everything fall apart? Can't we get through this a little bit smoother, or we have to go through hell? Which
You always go through hell, Tim, before you get to heaven.
It depends upon us. The thing is that our being in the giant school that we're in, what happens is the giant school says, Tim, I think there's something here that you need to look at, that you might want to work with. That's when emotion comes up. And if you say, well, I'm not ready right now, so I just will set this aside, then the next time it doesn't say Tim, it says, Tim, pay attention. And the next time it's shoving you, right? So we go to the bottom because we haven't been listening, we haven't been working with it, we haven't paid attention. The universe doesn't give up on our learning. It will just smash us until we get it.
I love
In
that,
my office,
actually.
people will come, and maybe the previous week they were going to go do something and learn something, and they come in and they go, oh, I didn't learn it. And I go, that's okay. The universe won't forget. It's all right. You can take as long as you want to learn this, but be aware that your life is going to get harder and harder and harder, until you get it, because the universe is not giving up.
So we might as well just listen the first time. I mean, if we get a feather on our head, why wait for the sledgehammer, right?
Well, because we're stubborn.
Absolutely.
I always call it, most of us are.
Because we're fearful.
Yeah.
Because we're fearful.
Yes, I agree with that.
We're fearful. Right.
Yeah.
So, I guess connection is
too, guys. We got to pay attention to mental health.
Well, this is when the anger is dominant and fear and all that. It's just we're a fear world. If we just get that fear, release that anger, things just shift for us, and then you face it, just be facing them. That's kind of what happens, you know. So we haven't said goodbye, but we are.
Check out emotional mastery for life.com. We don't have
absolutely.
this bad internet connection, but it'll be
she's
fine.
she's fantastic, is she not? I just love her.
Yes, we do. All right, guys, we got to take a quick break, but when we get back, we have our good news segment.
Yes, stay tuned.
And we have more to talk about what we're doing this week, so you want to stay for it. We'll be right back. Wake in Atlanta.
You are listening to Awaken Atlanta, a conscious way to start your day on the UI Media Network, sponsored by the United Intentions Foundation. The United Intentions Foundation is proud to announce that we're beneficiaries for City Gala, a foundation that supports humanitarian, philanthropic, and educational efforts. This gala is produced for the purpose of promoting equality, assisting in access to higher education, funding mentorship and entrepreneurship programs. The gala also pushes influential individuals to become activists and face the challenges of current events. We've been fortunate enough to be selected as one of the foundations slated to raise money and garner support from influential and remarkable people. To get involved, visit www.citygala.org and learn more about this wonderful foundation. You can also join their mastermind club and have access to top executives and influencers from different industries to help you network and build your brand and business. We're honored to be a part of City Gala, and we hope you join the journey to success with us. What's happening, world? It's time to dive into local and national news topics that are guaranteed to put a positive spin on your day. Join us as we discuss impactful headlines and local events designed to enrich your life. Enjoy your cruise with good news. The Good News segment is sponsored by Action Specialty Carts, Metro Atlanta's #1 dealer for golf cart sales, service, and rentals. Visit ascarts.com to learn more.
Welcome back to Awaken Atlanta. Shannon McVeigh, Tim Ray. Guys, we're having a show on sweet emotions. We just realized how to deal with our anger. But real quick, before we get into the good news, did you hear who sponsors us?
Yes.
Action Specialty Carts. Guys, those who are going to the launch party on Saturday, we're going to have a cart ride.
Yes. Oh, man.
I am exciting it.
Listen, no, first she's running for president. Now she's driving. What are we doing here, please?
I won't be driving it. It doesn't have insurance on that.
No, yeah, great.
You need a golf cart. Like, you should, and everyone should have one that really brings happiness to your life. Have you ever done a donut on a golf cart?
Flipped a golf cart
You
before.
can flip a golf cart?
I flipped it, yeah.
That scares me because I went on a golf cart ride with you at your house.
Yeah.
And you were like off-roading with it.
Well, you know.
And he scared me. He's like, he's like, Shannon, the brakes aren't working. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have a seatbelt. You just messed with me.
But also, guys, we have our Goodwill partner, Colleen Blackwell. She'll be here at 8:30. You don't love her. She's all about this brain, getting our brain in motion, and I think that's what it's all about.
Getting our brains into motion.
I mean, it's a lot of work, isn't it? Life.
It's sweet emotion, man.
Is life a lot of work, Shannon?
Life is I mean, yes, but it's beautiful. I love it.
Okay.
I love life, even in the down. I've been lucky enough. God has gifted me. I think we all have different gifts, and I feel a true gift of joy.
I love that you feel that because
even in the down, even in the craziness.
Right. Well, it's amazing how we just take it for granted, and we just need instruction. I strongly recommend, guys, go to Eileen's website, and it's emotionalmasteryforlife.com. Get the book on how to navigate emotions. Otis, can we get that book? I really want to get that book.
Yes, he's on it.
All right.
Stacy said, Okay. Stacey said, Billy said, Awaken Atlanta is breaking the internet. And it's making him angry. And Tiffany said, OMG, it's giving me anxiety. Who knows what will happen on Saturday?
I know, right?
What, me driving a golf cart? I wish you were coming, Tiff. All right, you ready for news?
Let's hear some good news from Shannon McVeigh.
All right, I'll go first.
Good.
4 kids, all like siblings, for ages 10 to 14, stole a car from their parents. And the parents called authorities really shortly after. And they were gone for I don't remember 8 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
And they ended up going 600 miles.
Where'd they go?
With fishing rods along the Australian coast. They just took off. They must have switched driving because they couldn't make it. The authorities were shocked that they made it 600 miles in such a short amount of time.
How old were they?
Ages 10 through 14.
Wow. You talk about a road trip, huh?
I mean, what were they thinking? But what I want to know is why were they trying to get away from their parents? But it's cute that they brought fishing rods. I wonder if they were going to run away and cook their own food.
In Australia, you heard about going on a roundabout, right?
No.
Yeah, you just go.
What's a roundabout?
You just kind of just go. You walkabout. That's what they call a walkabout.
Is that a walk of life?
No, in Australia, one day you're at your home, and next day the person just left.
Oh, really? Yeah. I need to move there. Relatable. I get it.
But that's really cute. That's a good story, But
they were safe. I mean,
but honestly, the only thing that went to my head, if it was here in the United States, I'd be very concerned. Maybe Australia too, because if you call the police, I'm telling you, this prison system is relentless, especially with young kids.
Well,
back in the day,
the parents are getting flack.
I know, but my point is, back in the day, you call the police, and the police would scare straight your kids, and they would pull them in and say you're going to arrest you and all that. But today, they don't. They arrest you. They throw you in prison. They put you in population. You're probably going to get raped. You're probably going to have all these horrible experiences if you're there for more than 2 weeks. It's not like it used to be.
You remember,
I'm telling you, it's
locally
serious.
here in Roswell last summer, there was a kid that was doing something was he streaking or he stole a golf cart and went driving around, remember? And they locked him in the car to try to freeze him out, and the kid ended up peeing himself.
Yeah.
And that was right here in Roswell.
Really? Well, I
remember doing a story on that.
I'd rather that would be fine. I mean, I'd rather have that. Let the kid pee on himself, but just don't put him in the prison system, man. Because now it's a business. They're making so much money off of these kids who are these non-violent crimes. And it is wrong on every level.
Because they have a quota to meet now.
It's not even a quota.
And so do doctors, by the way. I just learned that. Doctors have a quota to meet. I'm well, how can you put a quota on people?
Hey, listen, if they don't get certain vaccines, they don't get vaccines to the infants, they don't get paid money.
That's sad.
It is, especially now that we know about vaccines. There you go. All right, you
your
ready
turn.
for my little news?
Let me guess. Is it about vaccines?
This one actually not, but this one it is related to the healthcare field.
Okay.
U.S. charities are helping people cancel excessive medical debt. 1 in 3 Americans is in collection for medical debt valued at $1 trillion. I'm telling you, we are in
Don't pay medical debt.
We are in destabilization mode right now in the United States. We're past the demoralization and we're going into the crisis. This is all part of the communistic agenda, by the way. The U.S. estimated 1 in 3 adults with a credit history of about 71 million people are so far behind on their debt payments that their accounts have been sent to collection. According to 2014, these adults owe average $5,178. Most of the medical debt concentrated in the South. Occupy Wall Street requested the help of the 2 debt collectors, right? And this is to the point now where everyone, you know anybody who's in medical debt?
Ding, I'm in every kind of debt you can think of.
I mean, Wahid, have you seen this medical debt just grow out of the crazy?
It is.
You shouldn't
it's
have
been
to
on the
pay.
rise.
You shouldn't have to pay, $5.75 for Band-Aid.
Right, yeah.
This is why. I mean, who can afford medical debt?
Well,
nobody can.
Well,
just write it off.
Medical travel, right? People are traveling over country, out of country, I should say.
What are you trying to say?
Overseas travel, right? Travel.
Okay, what are you saying? What's your point?
Is it like going to Brazil or going somewhere else to get some work done, dental work? Or...
Yeah. Overseas medical travel, whatever. People are leaving the United States to go get medical treatments because it's cheaper.
Oh yeah, like you can go to Mexico for your prescription pills.
Yes, exactly.
But we don't believe in prescription pills, right? Except sometimes we do.
Exactly.
Sometimes you have to have them. Modern medicine is not all bad, people. Sometimes we have to have it.
Right.
And in that case, pay for it. But what do you think about bringing a baby into this world? Do you know how expensive that is?
Well, not only expensive, but I think it's you bring him to a world that's being poisoned to death. You know, I mean, I just think it's I don't know.
Montanza.
Yeah,
Montanzo.
Monsanto. Montanza. Montanza. You sound like Circle
like
of Life.
Wait,
Montanza.
Montanza is where you do the pig in the ground, right? And you
Yeah.
have a big party. Is that what I'm thinking of?
But
Anyway.
but my point being is that it's out of freaking, you know, it's out of control.
Out of control. Ready? You ready for my news? That's out of control.
Yes, what's your news?
I
out of
got this
control?
from Beautiful Diana
Uh-oh.
on Facebook. So police warn that flushing drugs down the toilet could create meth gators, and animals are suffering the effects of meth being flushed down the toilet. What do you think about that?
Meth gators. My God, can you imagine? Gators are scary enough.
So
Now they're
imagine them on meth.
Holy
It's like
macro.
I mean, that's insane.
That is actually very insane. I can't believe that. Yeah.
Stacy said they need to make a sci-fi movie on that. I concur.
I think they have already. So
No, that's Sharknado.
Sharknado. Oh man, that's
Do you know
pretty
what
funny.
bath salts are?
Yeah, people take that and they end up going crazy.
Like they eat people's faces and stuff.
I know. They talk about the real zombies, right? The zombie
Yeah.
world. I mean, I think that's something
See,
to.
that's probably garbage in, garbage out.
Well,
Because you watching what's it called? Like Walking Dead and all the zombies are like the cool thing.
yeah, well, not really. They're not. I
They
don't think-
were.
well,
They were totally in.
I don't think they're cool.
All right.
I don't think
What's
they're
your
cool at all.
news?
All right, so we got a bombshell. Scientists find evidence that man-made climate change doesn't exist. Can I finish my story here?
Yeah.
All right. A new study from scientists in Finland found practically no man-made climate change and explained that the man's role in increased carbon dioxide is less than 10%. A team at the Kobe University in Japan expanded that research wrote, new evidence suggests that the high energy particles from space known as galactic cosmic rays affect the Earth's climate by increasing cloud cover, causing an umbrella effect. The findings are highly significant because the umbrella effect, not man-made factors, could be the prime driver of climate warming. When cosmic rays increase, so do low clouds. When cosmic rays decrease, clouds do as well. Therefore, climate warming and cooling is caused by nature.
Good. No, I'm listening. I was just putting a song on for you in my mind.
You hate that information.
I mean,
What do
let's
you
talk
wanna
about Area 51.
Oh my God.
Did you hear about this?
No, what?
Area 51. People are planning to go through Area 51 and break in to see the aliens in September.
Good.
It's a thing.
About time because, you know, although they probably moved everything from Area 51 to other areas.
I
you know.
love you know what, guys?
You know what I mean?
Like
They're
Trump-
gonna go,
50 years ago.
Yeah, 50 years
So-
ago. They're going to go to Area 51. And they're going to go down there, break through, and they're like,
They're breaking
nothing's
through.
here. And then the governments go, see, we told you nothing was there.
Can I tell you what our president said?
It's
He
in Area
tweeted.
52 already.
Do you know what our president tweeted?
What?
Like him or not, this was funny to me.
What?
He wrote, everyone is wondering what is inside of Area 51. So here it is. Inside Area 51 is a successful working model of socialism. LOL, just kidding. It's really just aliens. We all know socialism successfully does not work. Is that not funny?
Yeah, okay.
That was funny to me.
As he perpetuates socialism.
Anyway, Area
So-
51, if you guys want to do it, I think we should do it. But people are probably going to get shot.
No, they're not. Honestly, I would not be surprised that they don't let them in. I'm sure they already, you know, washed it and cleaned it out. And
Why
it's-
wouldn't we be able to see an alien if there's such thing as aliens then?
Because they don't. Because what if they were controlling everything? What if aliens are actually controlling the world right now? Why would they want you to know?
I think that's so. I'm not trying to judge you.
Okay, well, you know, don't judge me. Go judge people like Bill Cooper, who tells you exactly what is going on. It's not me. You know, I'm just a messenger. Don't
Stacey
condemn the
said
messenger.
The Facebook event to storm Area 51 has over 600,000 people.
Well,
I would just read the comments there alone.
all I gotta say, if it's going viral on Facebook and the government is not trying to use disinformation against it yet,
You know what
then
they're
it's
doing?
probably a
They're
big
distracting
setup.
us. Yeah, they're distracting us from like child pornography.
yeah,
Like, how
yeah.
about we go back to Epstein and really worry about the real important things?
Well, you know, yeah. What's going on with that? Have you been following that at all? The Epstein?
No, it makes me cry.
You haven't been following it at all?
Well, I do for you guys, but
Okay.
do you have any news about it?
Not today.
Billy said, okay, Stacy, we're going to have to meet Tim and Shannon about their good news segment. I'm not sure where I am right now. What do you mean? Because we're in Alienville?
Well, I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, he said, Steven said, my granddaughter told me about the Area 51. Her number was 1 million. That's crazy.
Really?
1 million people.